Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Brian Friedman. I'm the GVP of Sales with SoftClouds, an Oracle partner based in San Diego, California. And today's topic is the Oracle Digital Trifecta. And what we'll do is we'll walk you through what we mean by the Oracle Digital Trifecta, give you some examples of how it's been implemented, and also talk about some use cases that we have where we've put the digital trifecta into operation for some of our customers, as well as some pursuits that we're currently working on with new customers. If at any time during the course of the presentation you've got any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and I'll get to them at the end of the presentation. So what we know is that experience with customers is everything. Customers want to have a real meaningful experience as they engage with a company. They really want to be able to have an opportunity to have their questions answered, get the information that they need, and be able to get it in the least intrusive way possible. And for different people, that really means different things. Some people want to talk to a live agent. Some people would prefer not to talk to a live agent. So what we're doing is we're using various Oracle tools to provide that type of experience and to provide the different opportunities for customers to be able to have the interaction that they need, the interaction that they want as they engage with a company. And what we've learned really, and especially during the course of the pandemic, is that people are looking for different ways. Things have changed dramatically in terms of how customers interact with the company, as well as how the company has that interaction with their customers. What we know is that a significant number of people are looking for interaction on their mobile phone. That's really the device that we all use now. That's the way in which we communicate. And we want to be able to solve our problems, get answers to our questions using the mobile as well. Customers also prefer self-service channels to be able to answer their questions. As I said before, in a lot of instances, customers don't want to have live interaction with the customer service agent. They want to find a quick and easy answer and be on their way. And we also know that a large number of customer interactions going forward are going to involve emerging technologies. And what do we mean by emerging technologies? Well, this is really where we start talking about what the digital trifecta means. Virtual assistants that will help customers get answers to their questions, hyper-personalization so that a system recognizes who the customer is, what the background is, where they may have asked questions in the past, and to be able to provide relevant information to them in this interaction. Improved mobile experiences, because again, we're really very dependent upon our mobile phones, and that's really where many times we want to seek answers to our questions, and we want data transparency for brand credibility. What we mean by that is that we want to be able to provide the information that's needed, the best customer service interaction, because that's the way that a customer has quality feelings about doing business with that company. So to that, we introduce you to the digital trifecta. And what we mean by that really is looking at the ways in which a customer needs to have interaction today. And what that means is 24/7 access to information and answers, quick access to the right answers, and very personalized service. And so the Oracle products that we're talking about today that make up the digital trifecta are Oracle Digital Assistants, Oracle Knowledge, and Oracle Intelligent Advisor. And when we look at the digital trifecta, you see that it brings together different components of the Oracle ecosystem to provide that enhanced customer service experience: the digital assistant, intelligent advisor, and knowledge. So let's go through what each of these elements are, what they look like, and how they then come together to bring the package of the digital trifecta. When we look at digital assistants, we see them growing significantly in the customer service marketplace. It's estimated that there's going to be 8.4 billion digital assistant units in use by 2024. And what that means is that we're able to provide a conversational AI and a conversational interaction for the customer to be able to have a way to get the information that they need. We've all had these interactions with digital assistants. Some are definitely more satisfying than others, but we're starting to see them more and more. And the best way to be able to do this is to be able to have easy answers provided through a digital assistant and a very seamless way to get out of the digital assistant and move to a live agent experience as well. And part of the reason that we talk about this then is we're bringing different elements together. Just putting a digital assistant out there is probably not a good thing if it's a standalone, because you need to have the ability for the customer to move into a live agent situation, to get answers to their questions, and to be able to have a satisfying customer experience when they're working through a problem. You need to have it in a situation where there's no app to download, so it comes up as a window or a chatbot inside of a help desk, a website, wherever it might be, that allows the customer to access that without the interference or intervention of other applications. And it has to be available all the time. So 24/7 by 365. And the whole idea here is easy answers can be provided at any point in time to give the customer the availability of the information that they need and the ability to be able to move on and get their problem solved. So real life scenario with a digital assistant is Radius Bank. And what they were really looking to do here is they were trying to find a way to solve the number of chat inquiries that their customers had, and to be able to give quick and easy answers to information that the customers were looking for. Now, what we found, especially at the onset of the pandemic, is customer service facilities were highly interrupted. The agents were sent home. They didn't have access to the information that they needed. Customers were finding long wait times. It was just a very difficult and frustrating experience. And so by introducing digital assistants, the companies were able to give better, faster access to information and to be able to provide their customers with answers they needed without being placed into queues for endless hold times. The second component of the digital trifecta is knowledge management. And what we mean by knowledge management is really a consolidated place where information is available that customers need and customer service agents need. And what that causes, what the goal is to be able to provide consistent information and the right information all the time. And so what we found again, and a lot of this was highlighted in the beginning of the pandemic, is agents rely upon other agents for information, tribal knowledge, basically. And so if a customer service agent was looking to solve a problem, get an answer, very often they would rely upon what they knew, and they would rely upon other agents to be able to find the right answers. When all of these customer service agents were no longer together in the same place, this tribal knowledge broke down completely. And this is where we really saw the need for knowledge management to come into play. because this is a consolidated place where all of this information is in one place, and it's always the same answer. So if we use that, it allows you to deliver the right answers every time, and it gives you the ability for the customer or a customer service agent to have an easy way to search for the problem and the answer. And so if you can have effective knowledge management, you'll see a significant increase in productivity, and you'll also see the ability for the customers to get the answers to their questions much more quickly, much more efficiently. And when they get the right answer, they're able to move on very quickly with the resolution to their problem. And in this case, we're looking for a use case with a cybersecurity leader, and they use knowledge management to decrease the time for resolution of problems, to increase their net promoter score because they were doing the right thing, they were providing the right answers, and they were also able to bring about call deflection. And by call deflection, what we mean is we're moving away from every call going to a live agent. We're giving the customer the ability to self-serve with their question. And in instances where they don't have the ability to get the answer, or they're not satisfied with the answer, then they go to a live agent to be able to get the support that they need from someone that they can talk to. And so when we look at knowledge, when we look at all three of these things in the digital trifecta, the goal is to provide self-service, to provide call deflection, and then to really allow the routing of necessary calls and necessary inquiries to the agents when they have to, when the customer isn't satisfied with what they've got in terms of a response. The third leg of the digital trifecta is the intelligent advisor. And what intelligent advisor does is it provides the ability to take workflows and different scenarios and put them into a series of questions to lead to a resolution. So in many, many instances, it isn't just a single question of how do I fix a broken part? It may be, do I qualify for a loan? Am I able to get a warranty replacement? And all of those things have a workflow. They have a series of questions. And as you go through those questions, Intelligent Advisor has a tree that says, if the answer is yes, then the next question is this. If the answer is no, then the next question is that. And using this, you can start to create a scenario where it's much easier for the customer service agents to provide the right answers to customers' questions. And it's also easier to get to a resolution. But when you look at how this works, you can also take some of these other tools that we're talking about, and specifically a digital assistant, and you can put them together. So Intelligent Advisor has a series of questions in a workflow, and the digital assistant can walk the customer through those various questions to self-serve and answer to their particular question. If you think about warranties, for example, there's a number of questions that get asked to figure out if you're eligible for a warranty claim or potentially a replacement. That can easily be done through a digital assistant because it will walk through each of those questions. It will take the customer through the various steps and ultimately get to the point of saying, yes, you're eligible for a warranty replacement, or no, you're not for this reason or that reason. So this is where you start to see these three components coming together and the digital trifecta really coming into play. An instance of that is a situation with Panasonic UK, where they were looking for a better way to get repairs and replacements to their customers. And they used Intelligent Advisor for exactly the same purpose we just talked about. It walked the customer through the various questions, and it ultimately led to an answer of, yes, you're entitled to a warranty or a repair, or no, it can't be done in this particular instance. So let's look at a few situations where SoftClouds has implemented some components or all components of the digital trifecta. In one instance, which is a major automotive manufacturer, we gave them some of these components to significantly upgrade the way in which their customer service call centers worked. And the real goal here was call deflection, reducing the call volume to the customer call center. And we did that by using knowledge to create a self-service process to be able to allow the customers to get answers to their questions. My car doesn't start. What's the reason why? I've got a flat tire. How do I replace it? Different things that we were able to give self-service answers where they didn't have to go and talk to an agent directly. Because we enabled this call deflection, we were also able to get the customer service representatives to spend more time with customers who had other questions that couldn't be answered and needed direct intervention and direct assistance from a call center agent. And we did all this to give this auto OEM a much better experience with their customers, and also to be able to reduce the costs of their call center operations. By doing this, by also putting a dealer portal in place that allowed the dealers to go in and also communicate with the automotive OEM, they were able to understand the complaints that were coming in. They were able to respond to them much more quickly, and they were able to improve the customer service. And as a result of the entire package, we were able to bring about a 15% revenue increase for this automotive OEM. In another situation, when the machinery industry, what we did is we modernized the digital customer service for them. And in doing this, what we did is we brought the entire sales process together for 5 different organizations or subsidiaries. And we gave the parent real-time access to data that was necessary for them to understand how each of these different subsidiaries were operating. For one of the companies, we also provided them a warranty maintenance situation that used both a knowledge piece as well as Intelligent Advisor and a digital assistant, so that a customer could go in, they could say, my machine isn't working properly, it's not starting. What are the options on how to fix this? Knowledge would then give back a number of different options of how to go about checking to see how that machine could be fixed to work properly. If that didn't work, then we could go into a warranty scenario and walk through a situation where the customer could be asked a number of questions to determine if their machine was available for a warranty claim or a replacement. And so all of these things brought together to really provide a much better experience for the customer, a much less impacting experience at the company side because of the need for the customer service agent, and an overall increase in revenue and profitability. Third example is a multinational electronics company. Interestingly, this company had been a Salesforce user for a number of years, felt that Salesforce was not giving the appropriate support needed for their type of business. And as a result of that, what we did is we implemented the Intelligent Advisor as well as knowledge to be able to help them with their repair management and their warranty management, and really provide a significantly better experience for the customer as well as for the customer service agent. Because using these different components, the agents were able to respond much more quickly and much more accurately to the customer requests. And the customers were able to use various self-service mechanisms to get answers to their questions without having to talk directly to a customer service agent. So what we really are looking at is how do you reduce your call center costs? How do you increase customer satisfaction? And how do you provide personalized service? And these are the components, the digital trifecta, the digital assistant, knowledge, and intelligent advisor. So what we're really saying here is it's time to think differently. It's time to really focus in on the kind of service experience your brand is delivering, whether you're creating experiences that future-proof the business, and how do you make every customer interaction matter? How do you move to a situation where anytime a customer does interact with the company, they're satisfied, they're happy with what has happened, they really feel like they've gotten the type of experience they need, and therefore they're willing to continue to be a customer. They're going to buy future products. They'll continue to do business with the company. So just a quick little piece about us. We were founded in 2005. We're based in San Diego. We have 3 other offices, 2 development facilities in India, and a sales office in Tokyo, Japan. And we focus primarily on the major and enterprise space. We're an Oracle Platinum partner, have been for a number of years, and that's the highest level of partnership with in the Oracle ecosystem. So what I want to do, and as we wrap this up, is to really highlight 4 situations where we're currently in sales cycles with potential customers, and we're using the digital trifecta, and we're in ways that will help these customers and help them grow their business. The first is a major childcare provider in the United States. What they're looking to do is they're looking to modernize the childcare scheduling, getting a child signed up into one of these childcare facilities. And what we're proposing to them is to use the digital trifecta to modernize the scheduling process. If we bring these 3 pieces together, the digital assistant is the front end piece. Customer goes in and says, I live in San Diego, here's my address, and I'm looking for a nearby childcare facility. The digital assistant responds with the local facilities that are available, the ones that have space available, and then the conversation goes on to determine whether this is the right choice for the customer. We use the intelligent advisor to really have an intake questionnaire for the parent regarding their child and their needs. So we'll ask questions such as, how old is your child? What are their capabilities? We go through 3 or 4 different things in that respect. Can they read? Are they writing? Where are they in their development? And then ultimately, we'll come out with a recommendation that says, for you, the best available facility is located at such and such a place, which is X number of miles away from your home. Today, this particular company is doing all of that manually. What we're looking to do is bring them the digital trifecta to be able to modernize this entire process into a very modern way of doing it and a very automated way of doing it. Of course, as we talked about before, at any point in time, if the customer feels that they need to speak to an agent directly, they can be transferred, and any interaction that they've had with the digital assistant up to that point is transferred to the live agent as well. So the customer doesn't have to go back over everything. They simply pick up where they left off with the digital assistant. Second example is a telecommunications provider. And what they're doing is they're using knowledge management and the digital assistant to modernize their customer service interactions. So what we're doing here is we're taking all of their knowledge articles, all of the information that is usually accessed either by customer service agents or customers directly. We're putting all of that into knowledge management, and then using the digital assistant as the front end, we're giving the customer the opportunity to self-serve in terms of troubleshooting and answers to their problems. So we take all of this information, we use the digital assistant to access it, and it's really the same thing as having a conversation with the live agent. It's just much more direct. It's a much lower impact for the company because they don't need to have additional agents. And it's much easier for the customer to get answers to their questions at any point in time, even when, for example, a customer service center is no longer open. So all, again, a way for them to modernize, to do things more efficiently. Third example is a service provider. And what they're doing is they're looking at Intelligent Advisor to reduce call center time for customer retention and refund processing. These two things, customer retention and refund processing, are very mechanical. There's very clear set of rules about how you keep a customer, what you can offer them to stay with the company, and if there's a refund needed, what are the various questions to ask for determining whether a refund is available. It's a perfect example of where Intelligent Advisor works really well, because there's a script that needs to be followed. There's a workflow. We take that workflow, the same thing that a customer service rep would go through when a client or a customer calls in, asks for a refund, or says that they want to cancel the service, and we walk them through those questions. We can use the Intelligent Advisor for the customer service rep, or we can tie that to the digital assistant for an automated way of walking through the process and getting to the ultimate result of, yes, you're entitled to a refund, or sure, I'll stay with the company because I've been offered these various incentives to stay. The last example is a public utility that is looking at knowledge management plus Intelligent Advisor and digital assistant to lighten the call center load and provide better customer service. And what we're looking for them to do is to migrate all of their knowledge articles into knowledge management, to build these various workflows using Intelligent Advisor, and to use the digital assistant as the way to allow the customer to do this in an automated fashion without talking to a customer service rep. So if you look at a public utility, your questions there are usually pretty straightforward. You're starting new service, and so there's a number of questions that are asked of you to determine whether you're eligible for that service and what it's going to cost. And then ultimately, if you are eligible and you do want to go forward, when can you get an installation date? Or you've got a problem. Your power went off. There's a power line down. You're moving service from one location to another. Again, using Intelligent Advisor, very easy to build these workflows and to do it in a way that a customer service rep can walk through the situation, or it can be done with the digital assistant. So all four of these examples really show how we're taking this package of the digital trifecta and proposing it to our customers on how to best modernize and best create a better user experience for their service reps as well as their customers. So with that, I will open up for any questions. If there's any questions at this point, please feel free to put them in the chat. Happy to go through them. The first question that I have is one that is focusing specifically on the automotive industry. And what the question really is looking at is, where are some use cases in the automotive industry for Intelligent Advisor? So one very interesting thing that we've done with Intelligent Advisor in auto finance is to allow the finance company to use Intelligent Advisor for situations where there's a problem with an auto loan or an auto lease. So when you look at that, very, very specific questions, very specific workflow that has to be done when you've got a problem with an existing lease. And every state has different requirements. So you can't just go out and repossess a vehicle without following very specific steps. And those steps are different state by state. So what we've done is we took Intelligent Advisor and we created these workflows that take each step of the way of the interaction between the finance company and the customer. And we've put that into a workflow intelligent advisor. What this allows the service rep to be able to do is make a phone call and walk through the steps. And there's numerous steps to get up to an actual repossession. There's a number of different things that have to take place over a period of time that ultimately allow the finance company to be able to go out and repossess the vehicle. Intelligent Advisor walks through those steps, records the answers for every single question, and records the entire interaction so that there's a complete record of all of the questions, all of the situations that the interactions have taken place, and ultimately the final result, if necessary, is to be able to go out and repossess the vehicle. So took a very manual process and totally automated it for this automotive finance company. I thank you all very much for attending today. I'm Brian Friedman, GVP of Sales. There's my information. If you do have any other questions or if there's anything we can do to assist, please feel free to reach out. And thank you for attending today, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving next week.